Hey you! Today I have a quick and fun metalwork bead project. I first made these beads in like around 2009 or 2010, and I've only made a few since then, so this has been kind of a refresher for me. I'm hoping to do an okay job here for you to see what I'm doing. One bead is made of a square part from just a random bamboo chopstick that I've had for a long time. And the other is created on a round tool, basically a baling plier. So we have a baling plier, we have a chopstick, and then we have our copper wire. I also use liquid liver sulfur. So we can put that in this, there we go. To achieve a dark patina, and I also use vintage paints to give a more colorful patina to different beads. So I use a little patina and patina paint. So, okay. The beads are basically these two kinds here. There's the more square, like kind of kicked off center bead here, and then these wire wraps, these heavy wrap beads. I think they're with 16 gauge, and I believe these are with 18 gauge wire. And that's what I am going to show you how to make today. It's really simple, it's fun, and it gives you like an earthy vibe to your jewelry, and it's one of a kind. Nobody else has anything like it, so do it. I say do it. I say go for it. I say follow my instructions and go for it. Alright, so for the first ones, I'm going to do this round squiggly earthy copper bead, and I think you can kind of see the patina paint in there on these. So we'll get about 10 inches from our 16 gauge wire. Alright, and I'm going to use the smaller bail on the baling pliers. I don't remember what brand these are. They say they're made in Pakistan. I don't know what brand these are. I apologize. I've had them for a long time. Alright, so we're gonna start wrapping that around in the baling plier, and just start, you grab it, you get a little grab onto it, and you turn it. Grab it, turn it, grab it, turn it. And so you just do that until you get the length that you want. Okay, that's about long, because I want it, because they start to eat up a lot of room in your bracelet or your necklace jewelry. The longer the beads, the better they are for necklaces. So I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and I'm going to hold this down. I'm going to bite down on the wire. I'm going to turn it going the opposite direction. Okay. So now we've gotten back to the beginning, and we're going to go back the other way. And back the other way. And I am going to stop it there because it's getting a little chunky and a little out of control. So I'm going to pull it off the baling pliers. And then get in here the snips. Okay, and so I'm going to use this chain nose to grab that tip of that wire and turn it down into the bead. Sorry, I hit the camera. Okay, there we go. Got it turned down into the bead. Okay, so we have that. So there's our first bead. That is just the simple round bead and not the square bead. So with the square one, we're going to use 18 gauge wire. And then we'll cut off about 12 inches. I always say too much is better than not enough. And this is the chopstick. I've had this chopstick for a long time. I don't remember where I got it. I think I got it at a restaurant many years ago in Dallas or Fort Worth. Okay, so we're going to hold like a tail down on the chopstick. And we're just going to start wrapping around the chopstick. We'll do about 10 reps. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. All right. So we don't need that long of a tail because we're going to wrap that under. So we'll trim, make sure we're pointing down so the wire doesn't fly out and poke us in the eye. Okay, I'm going to take this and just bend the tail around the sides. Ooh, I just tore up my nail. That happens. Use some pliers there and then just torque it down around the sides. And then we'll see if we can nudge it off of here. I don't know if we can. Sometimes we have to like wiggle it off. Okay. Okay, got it off of the chopstick. All right, so I'm going to take this inside wire and turn it on the small edge of the chain nose pliers. Okay, we'll do another little loop inside the other side here. Okay, so I don't know if you can see that. I'm going to move that more towards the center. Okay, so we've got our round bead that hasn't been put in liver or sulfur yet, and then we have our square bead which hasn't been patina it or put in liver sulfur yet. And so I have a few more I was practicing on first. And so let's get this in the sulfur, liver sulfur. Let's get these patinaed. So I'm going to grab a little bit of some monofilament. All right, we have our glass. This is just water in a measuring glass. And we'll string these beads on to the monofilament. Oh, man, can't see what I'm doing. Okay. I almost had it. Okay. So we got our beads strung onto our monofilament. And let's just get a temporary bead crimp. So I'm gonna just crimp this on to this monofilament so I can easily dip these beads into the liver sulfur solution that I'm about to make. So I'm just going to flat crimp that real tight. Oh, that didn't stick. I knew it wouldn't. Oh my goodness, these crimps are not the best. There's a cat hair on it. Cut that off. Okay, this time I'm not going to pull so hard on the strand because I don't need to pull on it like it's going to be worn like a piece of jewelry. I just need it to simply keep a loop for this liver of sulfur made of metal. I've had this. This was, if you can see, that's Benjamin Franklin Crafts. I think I got this like in 2008. I think that's the date. January of 2008. Okay, did you see that? Did you see that drip in there? Oh my goodness, I've got a mess. Okay, so I'm gonna swish that liver of sulfur solution around in the water. I ran out of paper towels and all I have is like toilet paper. I don't know how that happened. Okay, so I'm gonna dip these shiny shiny copper beads I made into the liver of sulfur solution. I'm gonna dip them in and out. Let them sit. Usually it happens faster than this. I think my 𝘿𝙮𝙖𝙪𝙥 solution is getting old. Yeah, it's taking a while. The water is getting cloudy, but the beads are still pretty shiny. It's getting darker. It's taking some time. I might have to fast forward this. Ah, there we go. It's getting darker. Can you see that? Yeah, it's getting there. Almost there. Almost black. I like to get it black. That is looking so much better. Wow. It's taking a little longer. It used to just take a few seconds. I guess it gets older and doesn't patina as much. Okay. There we go. There's our brass. I keep wanting to say brass. They're not brass, they're copper. Okay, and it smells like National Park of Yellowstone. So it's pretty smelly stuff. So you can dab off the excess 𝘿𝙮𝙖𝙪𝙥 solution. Okay. All right, so on these rounder beads, I want to put some of that patina paint on them to give them a depth of color. And I like to use these paintbrushes. They're really cheap, but I find like they have like a really nice texture to the bristle that allows you to just use the paint so simply, and like you can also get to a fine point. I can't talk. All right, so here's my patina paints. I think I'm going to use green and blue. So verdigris and moss. I mean, perfect colors for patina. You gotta shake them up really good. And I've got my regular cup of water here. Get that stuff. I forget what it's called. The stuff that keeps the bristles firm in a brush. There's a word for it. I used to know it because I used to paint. So I'm just gonna coat these, and it bubbles up when it's wet. It's not the best time to put patina paint on a bead is when it's wet, but I'm doing this quickly for the video. Man. So we're just getting this moss patina paint on this round bead. Just when I work those bristles into the grooves of the bead. Okay, so we got our moss on there. Excuse me, my throat is always needing to be cleared. I don't know why. I had COVID months ago. That was like in October. Just, I don't get it. Okay, so this is the 𝘿𝙧𝙖𝙣. So I'm just gonna put that on some highlighted. I'm not gonna put it completely over the bead. I want some of that moss to shine through. Okay, and that's all we're gonna do with the patina paint. That's all you use. I mean, a little bottle goes a long way when you're doing something like this. Okay, the brush is practically clean. All right, I'm gonna just give these a quick rub with the wet paper towel or the wet toilet paper. It should be a paper towel, but I didn't have. So we can get the colors to be more in the crevices and the highlights. All right, so there's 2 patina painted beads, and so I'm going to take some still wool and buff them out a little bit. Get some highlights on the copper. You just want to just get in there and just rub it on, just rub those areas that you want to highlight. So now you can see where one is highlighted and one is not, and you get so much more pop of color when you do the highlight with the still wool. Excuse me. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I clear my throat so much, and I'm sorry, guys. I hope you bear with me. Hang in there with me, please. Okay, so look, that was really quick. The 2 beads done, and I don't even know how many minutes it's been. It's really quick, and there's no 2 beads on earth like them. Okay, so these are these more square beads. These I twisted before. I'm gonna go with these 2 beads that I made recently. This one I just made, and this one I made just before the video. So we're gonna highlight these with I'm going to try this different approach. We're going to highlight one before we spin it or stretch it out. So this has a little highlight of the steel wool and this one doesn't. So what we're going to do with this one that doesn't have the highlight of the steel wool, we're going to kind of torque it. Okay, we got to go backwards. Oh my goodness. Turn it against itself. Okay. Oh man, I torqued that one too much. My hands are, look how dirty my hands are. Okay, so let's highlight this one. Just making my bead mat, it's not really a bead mat, but bead cloth really dirty. Okay, and let's push this back down. We don't want that popping out. We want it more of a contained spiral. Okay. So you can see this, I kind of like the idea of twisting it first and getting different angles to pop up. One is a little more uniform and one is a little more funky, and I prefer this one over here. There's like different, it feels like you get different textures with it. And so you would just bead down through there. And I have my bracelets that I already made. So this bead is one I did a while ago. And I put beads inside of it and around it. Kind of made it a bead cage for seed beads, 𝐼𝙙𝐿 check seed beads. And then here I just added some twisty beads to this side. Those didn't have the patina paint, but these have the patina paint in them. And so that's just a quick example of what you can do to make your own beads, really quick and simple, and just totally one of a kind. Like and subscribe below if you like any of this that you see, or if you got some questions, you can leave a comment below. Just let me know what you're thinking. I'd be really happy if you join my Facebook group, trying to have a better way of communicating with each other, because sometimes like YouTube chat comments, or they can get buried, or yeah, it's not as like instant communication as Facebook. And Facebook, you can do pictures and video and all sorts of animations or memes, anything beady, or even if it's cat related. I don't know. I'm a crazy cat person. But anyways, I hope you liked the video. Here are the beads. So here are the beads. And here are the bracelets. And I hope you've enjoyed this really quick, fast-paced bead making video. If you do have any questions, give me a comment. Let me know. You can also contact me in the About section of my bead channel. there's an email in there and you can contact me through there. Okay? I hope you're having a wonderful day. I think you're awesome. Stay cool. Look at my dirty hands. My hands are so dirty. My hands are filthy. Okay. I love you. Bye.